Okay, John Deere 720, we're going to do some maintenance and repairs on her. It's a beautiful day in December, in between Christmas and New Year's. It's 50 degrees or more out. Beautiful day today. Get started on this little project. So we're going to take and, first thing we're going to do is try and get the hood off of it. Never taken the hood off a John Deere before. And looked online, YouTube, number of places. Couldn't find any videos of anybody showing you how to take the hood off the correct way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the hood apart piece by piece as I get it apart, and then kind of back up and video it as to how the hood comes off, in case anybody else is looking for a video of how to take it apart. But the reason we're taking the hood off first is we want to paint it. Green paint on this tractor is pretty darn nice. It's got some pits and stuff in it. It's not that bad, but it could stand to be painted. The paint that's on it now is a repaint over what was there. It's got some nicks and gouges in it. You can see, I don't know if that's showing up very well, but it's got some nicks and stuff in it from the old paint that was left there. Not bad. The yellow paint though is kind of ugly. Can't figure out, I had it polished up, it looked really nice, but for some reason it just kind of faded right away again. The yellow here for some reason gets a black, here I guess you can see it maybe a little bit better, gets a black to it. And you can polish that off, but then it comes right back. I don't know if that's showing up very well, but it's got a bit of a black, almost looks like mold growing in there. Of course it's not mold, it's just fading in the paint and stuff. But and then the decals are a little bit faded and stuff. We'll see if we can get some new decals for on her and clean that up on it. Got a list of things I want to do to it here this year while we're at it. Let me mention this one thing. If anybody sees this and says, what the heck is going on with that thing right there? This was my device to ensure my granddaughter's safety on a tractor when we were tractor pulling. Never had to use it. She did really well. Real proud of that girl for what she did tractor pulling this year. If you go on YouTube, find my videos of especially the new Centerville tractor pull was her best tractor pull, but she did real well on all of them for what it was, what she could do, what we had to work. We got 50 horsepower. That's, you know, she did real well for that. But the idea of this thing here was, this pulley was on there. This is connected to the distributor wire, to the coil wire. And the idea of this was, if she were to get in trouble and she were to panic and not be able to get stopped or to have something happen, I could simply, by holding this wire, this string clear back here, which I held it back here the first time she pulled, just to make sure that she was okay, and fooled around with it a little bit, tried it. But to just, you would yank on this and you'll see real hard, it just was supposed to. It worked. It worked before I tried to video this. It worked. If that's set right, you pull on it and there, it just yanks the wire out of the coil, and that shuts her down right then and there. But she didn't have any trouble. She did, like I say, she did really, really well. I just broke the end off of that, but we'll fix that. That's not an issue. That's easy fix there. So anyway, this is going to come off because we don't need this. She knows enough how to take care of the tractor when she's driving. But the list of things we're going to do this, try and get done here this winter before we go back out in the spring, take her and take it back out in the field, and we're going to plow with it this year. We had it hooked into the disc this past spring and this past fall. This spring we had an 8-foot disc because Uncle Bernie, who runs all Farm All stuff, Internationals, 1066 and 584 and whatever those other couple tractors he has, didn't think that this tractor would pull a 10-foot disc. So he said, oh, you better just pull the 8-foot disc. So we did. And we did a bunch of fields for him, had a great time, enjoyed it. Hadn't done that in 40, 45 years. But the tractor did wonderfully, just stood up to everything we wanted it to do, just did a great job. But in this fall, now he had some fields that he wanted to turn over and stuff. And I said, well, I'm going to hook into the 10-foot disc. And he thought, well, go ahead, but you're not going to pull it. Well, third gear, half throttle, walked it around just as nice as you could want it to go. So come spring, he's got a 3-bottom plow. He uses a chisel plow nowadays. I guess that's the way you farm nowadays. But he's still got a 3-bottom moldboard plow we're going to hook into and plow with the 3-bottom plow. Get my granddaughter on it. She's going to plow some. Neighbor boy over here, he's 14. I had him on this fall driving. He can't wait to get on and plow. We're going to teach him how to plow. Just the good things in life. The good, honest things in life that kids don't get to experience much like I did when I was a kid. You know, I'm coming up on 60 years old here, and things are just totally different world than it used to be when I grew up. Anyway, I digress. First thing we're going to try and do is, like I say, get the hood off of it. Get the front end off, front hood off, get the back hood off, get the steering off of it. We're going to work on the steering on this tractor. It's got a bad habit. I don't know if it's a habit, but it's got something in the steering on it, which supposedly the steering's in underneath. The valve is in underneath here, from what I see in the service manual, that this tractor steers real easy to the right, and it's really hard to steer to the left. When you're going out through the field, it'll drift to the right on its own if you let go of the steering wheel. But then you got to struggle just a little bit to get it back to the left, to bring it back to the left. Now, I don't have a problem with that because I'm expecting it. I know what to do, and it's just a little bit of Armstrong power, and it's taken care of. If you make it a sharp turn, you just twist the steering wheel a little bit harder. But I noticed the kids is having trouble with it. Granddaughter had trouble with the tractor pulling, getting the tractor turned around a little bit. The neighbor boy, like I say, when he was driving, when he was disking and stuff, he was having a hard time turning left. So we want to straighten that up. Now, I don't mind if these kids lean to the right with any, that's fine. They don't go left. You know where I'm going with that, politically incorrect. But the tractor itself, we want it to steer easy both ways. There's a fix for it. The service manual says how to fix this in here. I got to make a couple parts to put a gauge on the valve in there. And from the sounds of it, you slide the gauge forward or backwards. The center must be a spool in there that you center and straighten that up. So eventually we'll get to that, doing that. Want to take care of the wiring on this tractor. For some reason, whenever you're going out through the field, it gets to bouncing or something just a little bit. I mean, you know, just from working and stuff, it'll just flat out shut off on you. It'll just, you know, no warning, no nothing. It just shuts down. So you reach up in underneath here, behind the dash here, shake the wires a little bit, and it'll fire right back up and run just as true as you want it to run. So there's something wrong with the wiring underneath there. There's something loose or something corroded or something of that sort underneath there. So I want to get the hood off so I can get in behind that dash and tear everything out and rewire everything, and so that there's no issues with the wiring or anything anymore on it. Once we get that, we've got manifold gaskets leaking here, exhaust manifold gaskets. We want to get them replaced. The exhaust manifold over here has cracked and been welded. It's an okay weld, but I'd like to dress that up, maybe even if I have to re-weld it again. I've been doing some cast iron welding and I've had pretty good success with everything I did. I had to weld the starter nose housing on this because it broke, and lo and behold, I was able to weld it with cast iron, with stainless rod. No, I'm sorry, with nickel rod. With nickel rod, get it all welded back in place, and it actually lined up perfect. I was able to, and didn't crack after I welded it. I immersed it in, I put it in sand to let it, a bucket of sand, so that it cooled slowly. Worked wonderfully. It's still working great today to this point. So we want to take care of that. Also, the fan, while we have the hood and everything off, the fan drive here, you can see the fan blade. It's got some play in it. It's got that much play in it. Now, I'm told by a gentleman who's from the local neighborhood here, who is a John Deere 2-cylinder guru, that that's not bad. But Then if I would put new bushing or put new couplers in here, and I'm not sure, they go in this shaft here somewhere. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, it explains it well enough in the service manual there, how to get it apart and stuff. But having the hood and everything out of the way to make that job a whole lot easier. So we want to work on that, getting those put in. And I want to get a new steering shaft bushing for up here. You can see this in the shot. So we want to get a new one of those put in there. And then kind of the last but not least thing for this year is the float ride seat. It's just not, you can see the bushings are completely shot on the front side. On the back side here, I think these are still in good shape, but the bushings may be out of the arms here. I'm not sure. These are pretty brittle though. I don't know if they're actually working right or not. So yeah, you can hear everything down here is loose. And the adjuster screw thing here, it's tight that you'd bust it before you'd ever move it. So we want to get that off and get it freed up at least, and so that you can get that set right and just get it all tightened up. You can see it's pretty clunky on there. I just want to get her tightened up and get her back. Need to get a chain for the top link here to get the top link. When I got the tractor, this top link was frozen solid, would not turn at all. I got it loosened up, got her never seized good on both threads, so it's in good shape. Need to get a cover for the PTO. Not that big a deal. We'll get one eventually here. Need to get another arm for the, you can see this arm is stripped on the link arm here for that goes to the draft arm. It's stripped on me. Whether it was stripped when I bought the tractor, I don't know, but it wasn't this bad. But you know, that's one of them things that time and money cures all. So when I get time and the money, we'll take care of that also. So we got a pretty nice list of things we want to do here. Would really like to paint the entire tractor this year, but that's pretty tall order, I'm afraid. Again, time and money. The wheels you can see the wheels got a little blister and they need a little work on them. So if we get this short list of things I got here first, that'll spend enough money this year that my wife will put the halt to it and say that's it, no more money this year, and get her taken care of. So okay, we're going to get this hood off here, get some of these bolts, starting with these clutch head bolts. You can see, I'm assuming those are original. This top one here is busted off. I'm assuming these are, yeah, I say the original bolts that John Deere put in there from the factory. You don't see clutch heads anymore, but we're going to get these off. Looks like this is a two-piece, comes apart right here on this seam. I don't know if it's exactly where it's going to come apart or not, but we're going to get this all apart. Start taking her apart. Oh, I'm going to have to drop these weights off also. Got 310-pound weights on the front there. I've had them off several times for tractor pulling and stuff this year, experimenting. Seems like in a 9,000 and 11,000 pound class, letting those weights on the front there would work just right. I don't need to take them off because I have a weight bar that goes on that bolts on the center here to hang suitcase weights on, and then of course suitcase weights on the back there. So we're going to take the hood off, and we'll catch up on our next video.